You are back again with XRPJD. It's Wednesday, hump day, y'all. We halfway through the week. I know if you are busy like me, you work full time, you got a business, you got kids and everything. I know how hectic the week can be. So hang in there. We almost to that weekend. And I hope everybody's having a productive week as well. Let me just say this is not financial advice. I am not a financial advisor. Please invest at your own risk and be safe in this market, okay? Now, today, y'all, first, we are going to start by taking a look at the market. So, currently, the market, as I said in my previous video, the last week has been looking really good. If you look at some of the prices here on CoinMarketCap, on the 7 day, right? So we've had some uptrend here. So, who knows? Maybe we get some more of that. Maybe we continue to go down a little bit. As you can see on the hour today, not looking so good. We getting some pullback here, but pullback is always fine too. I'm fine either way, y'all, because I accumulate and I'm prepared for whichever situation. If the market goes up, I've accumulated a good amount to where I can make some hefty profit. If the market goes down, I always keep a few dollars on the side to throw in at these low prices. But as I said, there's a lot going on in the space, y'all. Like I said in my previous video, I've been, the last few days, I've just been kind of doing my due diligence and kind of poking around and to listen to some topics in the space. And one of those topics is the Clarity Act. Okay. Now, the Clarity Act is a law, is an official law that is going to be passed. And right now, they have been just kind of dragging this thing out, right, y'all? They just been kind of dragging it out. And as I said before, just to let y'all know how legit this crypto, this new asset class is, this is being talked about on the highest level of government. This is being talked about at the highest level of banking. Okay. As I said, the Clarity Act, they're passing laws, y'all. They're passing laws, right? This is the new way of money and the new financial future of the economy. So my personal opinion on the Clarity Act is I think it's just theater, y'all. I think that a part of it is just theater. And let me just say, this is not financial advice, and I'm not a financial advisor, but just from what I see, just the way that the banks are trying to come in and say, "Oh, well, we don't like this part of the bill. We want to change this. We want to change that." Kind of here at the last minute as the thing goes through the Senate to be passed. I can just see that the banks may be trying to hold this thing back, y'all, and shake out a few more weak hands because patience is a virtue. And I think in order to thrive in this market and to get to that place where we're trying to get to that financial freedom that we're trying to get to, we're going to have some patience, y'all, because they will drag this thing out, and just make it look all hopeless and doom and gloom for us. But with that being said, I have a clip here from the one and only In Cash official, and he is giving some comments and just kind of doing a dive on this. So let's take a listen.
One of the most important things that we have been talking about on the channel is, of course, the passing of the Clarity Act. This is a very important bill for the entire industry, not just because of what it unlocks for digital assets, but for what it does for the participants, right? Because again, we think about a lot of these big players. We think about institutional players, banking players, hedge funds, you name it. They want clarity. They do not want to go in without guardrails, which means there's a ton, and I mean a ton of capital still waiting on the sidelines to enter this space. Capital that probably is well over 2x of the entire market cap of crypto, which, again, if you take a step back and think about that, that's an insane amount of money. But we got here from Paul Barron. My DC sources are sounding the alarm. The banks might be about to win the war on stablecoin yield. Negotiations for the Clarity Act are hitting a fever pitch. A resolution is nearing a conclusion and could be reached as early as next week. The big catch?
Next week, y'all. Next week. This thing could pass next week. I'm not saying it's going to pass next week. I'm not saying it's going to pass tomorrow. I'm just saying that right now is the time to get in this market and get invested and get positioned. Because once they pass this Clarity Act, y'all, I mean, this is gonna allow all the financial institutions that are sitting on the sidelines with money ready to dive in, they're gonna dive in when this Clarity Act is passed.
The compromise on the table likely prohibits static yields on stablecoin holdings to protect bank deposits while keeping rewards for active users alive. Is the industry giving up too much to get the bill passed, or is this the regulatory certainty we've been waiting for? Now, I agree with Paul. I actually think that, this is not really a good win for the industry. Like, I think that the bankers are getting exactly what they want because, of course, at the end of the day, they own Congress. I've talked about this on many occasions. Obviously, yes, Clarity getting passed this year is such a very important thing, especially before the midterms. Like, I would argue that our deadline here is the beginning of summer. If we did not get Clarity Act getting passed through by the beginning of, summer, it's pretty much dead in the water until, who knows, maybe 2028. So it's very important that we get this across the finish line. But I don't think that this industry should give up too much of, the hedge that we have over these big banks. Like, we have all of the chips.
We have all of the chips. The crypto market, this new asset class, has all of the chips. Y'all, the traditional banks are terrified. They scared because this technology is so disruptive and so efficient that it's going to affect traditional banking. That's why the banks are coming in now and trying to stir everything up and trying to drag this thing out. Because they want to keep your money in the bank to where you make nothing off of that. You make nothing off your money or slim to nothing off your money sitting in the bank, rather than them having to pay yield on crypto assets that they are custodying on your behalf. 3 to 5% is what you would get on crypto that you have custodied by an exchange or by a bank if that part of this bill is changed. So let's just think about that, y'all. And tell me what you think about this Clarity Act. Everybody that's educated and up on this, let me know in the comments what you think about the Clarity Act. I just wanted to come today and give my thoughts on it because, as I said, this is something that I've been seeing floating around in the space for a few weeks. So I just wanted to bring the information to y'all, bring this topic to y'all. Y'all let me know what y'all think. And remember, this is not financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. And hey, if you've been coming watching or listening or watching, I guess watching and listening to my videos, be sure to give me a like and subscribe. Show some love, y'all. Show your boy some love so I can keep coming on here and bringing y'all this great information. But with that being said, I'm going to leave it like that, y'all. And until the next one.